Hello, this is Joe 83. This is round 7 of the season of LCR, and we're here in Austria for the F2 once again. And you can see it's going to rain in the feature race, which is absolutely appalling for me because I'm tragic in the wet weather on this game. But either way, we'll do our best. And yeah, we're over halfway through the season now. We had a break week last week. We've got 6 more rounds, including this one. Obviously, 12 races with the sprint and the feature each time. And straight into qualifying then for this Austrian Grand Prix, breaking just before the 100-meter board for turn 1. Trying to get it slowed down nicely, obviously. With it being one shot, the most important thing is just not invalidate and keep your lap clean. Obviously, also the championship leader, Mace OT, had a qualifying ban for this race, so he's just retired already. So that's one more position that I will be higher than usual because he's obviously going to be ahead of me in usual circumstances, but not this time. Getting turn 2 or turn 3 done nicely there, opening DRS now down the hill past where I was in 2019 and down past the meter boards and braking just before the 100-meter board for this next corner. Getting it slowed down pretty late there, missing the apex a little bit over the curb on exit. It's not going to help my traction at all, and on the exit not terrible, and then through his high speed section, really this is where they don't make up the time or lose the time really. Third gear, not taking loads of speed through there, definitely could have taken more. On the exit, not really using all the curb I could have done, and in this section once again, third gear is not really ideal and not using anywhere near as much track as possible. The apex speed was pretty low there, so it's a pretty average lap. It's been okay because it's been clean, no corner cuts or anything, and through the final corner now, fourth gear for the entry, not using all the curb at all, and third gear for the second part, not corner cutting, not track extending luckily, and up to the line it's going to be a 14.0 actually it looks like. 099 there, which somehow was good enough for P4 on the grid. I really, like, you see the amount of people disqualified at the bottom of the screen there, and I was just off just a tenth of a second so then Kez in third, and the top two were absolutely gone. So I feel like I definitely could have got third there because my lap was pretty tragic, but then Kez would probably say the same thing as well. But either way, fourth is a very good place to start. We've got 14 drivers, and interestingly, it's raining at the start of the race, but it's still dry enough for dry tyres apparently. So I'm going to start on the super softs for the extra grip, the extra heat up hopefully, and going on to softs around lap 6 it looks like, and yeah, plenty of fuel on board. And here we go for the 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix from fourth on the grid. It's quite a long hold, but we are eventually away here. That's an extremely long hold on the lights, and we've got a decent start compared to Sims up ahead. John and Sims are actually on soft tyres, so yeah, we've got the grip advantage on those two. Kez going right around the outside of the Univirtuosi into turn 1. I'm keeping fourth place pretty safely there. No, not really any challenge from behind, luckily, and yeah, just trying to keep it nice and clean. I don't think I got the pace to challenge Sims or John without them having issues, but Kez is definitely someone I could hold with in this race. I think we're breaking just full 100-meter board, obviously no grip at all. Sims and Kez going to go wheel to wheel there. Kez getting forced off the track a little bit by Sims. I've done a little bit of switch track move, but they're still side by side, and unfortunately their traction was just a bit better than mine. But Sims going pretty slowly here, got the slipstream and a very good track position. We're going to swing it to the inside for our wing nose, thinking better of that, going to the outside for the next corner, breaking very late, almost hitting the back of Kez, like slight contact with Sims there, but he's actually going to spin off on the inside. He hit the back of Kez and spun the car, so I'm up into the podium place straight away, and you can see John is like 2 seconds clear already, so he's absolutely gone. And yeah, Kez in second place, and I definitely have the pace, I think, if we look at qualifying, to at least stay with him, maybe not to challenge him, but I think my pace compared to him was pretty similar. But unfortunately, Connor, who started last in the other MP, has absolutely got an unbelievable start. He was fourth by the time we finished lap 1. So yeah, he's going to absolutely mince me and go up to that podium place. Try and brake nice and late actually, but that was almost an accident why I've sent it there and almost half spun. I wasn't trying to challenge, but I just broke too late and almost lost the car completely, and now my teammate Luke is behind me. So yeah, another driver who's probably faster than me right behind me again, but one up later, lap 3. It's the rain's getting a little bit lighter now, so it's going to be dry up pretty soon. But Connor has done the same mistake as me, almost binning it off on the exit of turn 3 there, and I'm going straight back around the outside up into P3 again. But that's allowed Kez to get really far away. John is 5 seconds in the lead, and Kez 3 seconds up the road from me, but keeping the car nice and smooth this time into turn 4 and holding that place for now. But by the end of the lap, Connor was all over my back end, as you would expect, with him being a much faster driver than me. And yeah, onto the DRS straight. DRS is actually enabled because it's still dry enough apparently, and Connor's going to go up the inside of it. Is he going to actually stick with that? No, he is not. He's going to lift off and try and get the run down towards turn 3 instead. My run through turn 1 was not exactly quick. It wasn't exactly terrible, but yeah, definitely not as good as it could have been. And Connor is going to go straight around the outside and have the move done by the time we can get to the braking zone probably. And yeah, into the next corner, braking pretty late actually, just about holding it off. And we're going to be side by side, making sure to leave him space on the outside, just about. And it's a very awkward corner to go side by side through, but he's going to get the traction and take that place up into the podium and make it an MP double podium for them. I've got my teammate Luke to worry about behind me again. But into turn 4 now, obviously not close enough to challenge or anything. Luke actually closing on me a lot, but on the exit he's going to actually just spin out for some random reason and lost the place to Alex. So yeah, very confusing why he's done that, and now it's a 4-second gap back to Luke, so nothing to worry about behind. John sets the purple lap time, but meanwhile I'm in the pits following Connor in on lap 5. Obviously it's dried up completely now, so there's not really a risk of going on the softs because they will heat up fine because it's a dry track. And obviously I wanted a bit of undercut. I was trying to undercut Kez, it was about 3 seconds, so I just thought, why not? If I can get anywhere near the DRS range, then perhaps I can challenge a bit later in the race. But into the pits, it's obviously going to be a 5.7 because that's the only stop you can get in F2 cars. And on the exit, Connor's still ahead of me. He's actually not pulled away too much, but he will definitely now for the remainder of the race. We've got 14 laps to go in this race, and Connor is yeah, a lot quicker than me usually, so I expect him to absolutely run away with it. But no, out of the pit lane, obviously keeping nice and clean, no challenges because I think we're one of the first people to pit, and DRS actually for some reason. And yeah, on to the end of lap 6, and you can see Kez is in the pit lane. I'm going to be ahead of my teammate Luke, and Kez is just there. He has been undercut by his teammate, but unfortunately not undercut by me, and I've gained maybe half a second at most. It's come down barely at all, which is a bit of a problem for me, but either way, it's a long way into the race now. Lap 13, nothing really happened. But yeah, Kez is 3.6, so he started extending the gap a little bit, but through turn 4 now, and you can see up ahead, Kez over there is a reset to track because he spun off, and he's now behind me again. So yeah, big mistake there from the MP driver, and that's allowed me back up into a net P2 actually, because also, luckily for me, John disconnected for some random Greek reason, and yeah, he is no longer going to win this race despite being absolutely miles clear. And it's allowed Connor to be absolutely miles in the lead now himself, who's 9 seconds ahead of me. Meanwhile, Sims is the final driver to make his stop. So I'm up into my net position, which is 2nd place. And we've got Kez 1.2 behind, which hopefully we can hold him off. I don't know if he got damaged in that spin, but either way, his pace was pretty good in the first half of the race. But it looks like we've done an okay job actually. So lap 19 now, and nothing really happened for the remainder of the feature race. And yeah, Kez just behind me now, and he's going to have obviously DRS. It's going to be a pretty tough battle to hold him off for the these last 2 laps, and up towards the turn 2, DRS is open for him. Obviously Connor has absolutely run away with it. It's 12 seconds clear now, but meanwhile Kez is trying to make an MP1-2. Can't even do anything into turn 2. He's going to think about one on the inside. Yes, he's going to go for it now, and wheel-to-wheel contact almost, but we just about to keep it clean. And the exit for me has been pretty good there, although he's still got the inside line, so I can't really go defensive. Although he's going to duck back into my slipstream. At this point I should have gone defensive, but decided against it for some random reason. And down towards the next corner, he's going to go up the inside. Once again, it's turn 4, and I'm going to try and hold it on the outside, but getting all over that curve is not going to help my exit at all. And Kez is going to go up the outside and take that place up into 2nd place. And my teammate Luke really had no pace for some reason. I don't know why, because he's obviously usually quicker than me, but I don't know, some tracks I feel like I'm okay at in these cars, and almost hitting the back of Kez there, so close to getting damage or spinning him off there, which would have been absolutely tragic at this stage of the race. But yeah, it looks like a guaranteed podium, to be honest. I had no penalties, and I don't know if Luke did either, but that means that I'm under no pressure really from behind and without any mistakes, and I'm going on to start the final lap. I've got DRS actually, so we could have another chance. One last opportunity to try and make it 2nd place once again, but I was probably quite happy to take this podium, to be honest. Obviously only one podium for me this season, which was in round 2 in Brazil, which I won the feature race, but other than that I've not had any podiums at all. So yeah, I was quite happy to take this, but unfortunately my run through turn 1 was absolutely shocking, so I'm not really close enough for moving to turn 2, and Kez is going to be well clear up the hill. And without an excellent run out of here, there's not really a chance to turn 4 either. So yeah, trying to get decent traction, but Kez on the pad, gaining about half a second out of that corner because of the pad traction. And yeah, unfortunately nothing doing, and into the down towards the next corner, nothing, yeah, nowhere near close enough. And by the end of the race, I was able to stay with him obviously, but there was only half a lap left, so that's not really a surprise. But yeah, up to the line, and Kez is going to come home in 2nd place, myself in 3rd place, but actually Kez is going to drop down to P3 because he had a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that's going to raise me up to 2nd place on the track, which is absolutely unbelievable scenes. And yeah, my 2nd best result of the season, 4th to 2nd, Connor going 14th to 1st, absolute classic. Yeah, and that's going to mean I'm yeah, the 7th on the grid for the sprint race, and more importantly, back up into, I think, 6th place in the championship. It's pretty close. Obviously, not for the lead of the championship because Connor is absolutely miles clear. But for second place, there's about 25 points, I think, separating about 6 of us. So, yeah, hopefully I can stay with that pack if we have a good sprint race. And we'll see how it goes, because, yeah, it's important to pick up points here as well. Obviously, the feature has more points available, but the sprint is definitely a good way to get points as well. And unfortunately, I've disconnected from 2 of these already this season, so hopefully not again. But the 5 red lights coming on now from 7th on the grid in the sprint race around Austria. Full dry, luckily for me. And the start's been pretty good compared to my teammate Luke. But unfortunately for us, Connor is going to go storming up the middle and take the both places up into 6th straight away for him. I'm braking very early to try and not get damage, and I can allow Luke to go on the inside. Got a brake to avoid this back end there, and unfortunately it's going to put me under pressure. From Apex is coming in the dams down the inside into turn 3. I told Luke to give me a slipstream, and that's exactly what he did, and that's allowed me to have a chance to stay ahead of Apex into turn 3. I'm braking very late, almost. We do hit the back of my teammate Luke there, somehow not getting damaged. I'm lucky for this, only unreduced. And yeah, on the exit, Apex still up the inside, but Luke still giving me the slipstream, but Apex is already clear, so I'm going to switch back into his slipstream, and we're definitely close enough for ascend into turn 4, and we're going to go for it down the inside of Apex and taking back the 8th place, and still side by side an exit, although he's going to be over those curves like I was earlier, and I'm getting the inside line for this slight kink of turn 5, and just about staying ahead and turning into turn 6, just about leading the battle for 8th, and you can see it's absolute carnage up ahead. We've got Riley and I think Sims going at it, Luke also trying to get involved as well, and this train down from I think 3rd at the minute is absolutely chaos, and Humperdinck and Sims going absolutely wheel to wheel into turn 1. I was just trying to keep it clean, not get damage, and Apex still trying to take any opportunity he can as well, and we're pretty close to Humperdinck, but obviously I don't really want to go for anything because he's my teammate, and if I take him out it's pretty bad. But into turn 3 here, Sims going extremely slowly, they're going wheel to wheel and running outside almost completely, but Humperdinck's got the move done on Sims, and that's going to allow Apex up my inside because I took a pretty compromised line, but on the exit just about cutting him off, giving a bit of slipstream though, and I can't get defensive because he's already there, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Sims and Humperdinck going wheel to wheel, still almost going very deep on the brakes there, but just about holding off Apex around the outside. But Flying Finn is getting passed by Riley. He's going to get passed by Luke as well, and he's going to be absolute carnage. I know he's not a very quick driver compared to the likes of the front. Sims has hit Luke there and half spun him and almost taken him out as well. So upper position, because Sims missed his braking point or something, was a bit unexpected to go the entire Luke there. Almost thinking about it myself as well, but just about thinking it better. This race has been absolutely jam-packed full of action. It's only ended up 2, and now onto like 3. DRS has been enabled, and Luke is going to go for it on the Flying Finn. Is he? No, he's not. I'm going to have to go for it on him, though, to avoid it. I've broken so late. That was a bit of a mistake there. I have to take a warning to not hit my teammate, and I was going to allow Apex a chance, but luckily the DRS and the good traction I got means I can fend him off quite easily. And down towards the turn 4, Luke is going to go for it on the Flying Finn, down the inside of turn 4. I've gone so deep on the brakes, I don't really know what I'm doing at the minute, but Apex is going to have a chance here. There's Ventham who spun out in the ART, and Apex up the inside meanwhile, and going to have to send one into turn 5 now, and just about getting it slowed down and taking the inside line. It's such a long corner that the inside line is very important, and taking that back up into 6th place has been pretty like hectic racing in this sprint race. And meanwhile, the Flying Finn is my next target. We're going to have to go for it into turn 3, because I know he's not a very quick driver compared to the likes of myself and Humperdinck, so got to go try and send one into turn 3. Absolutely going for it, almost hitting Luke. We do hit Luke again. That was absolutely shocking, that move, to be honest. But yeah, going so deep on the brakes, somehow still got most of the front wing intact, and I've taken that place up into 5th. I made it a Carlin 4-5 in a minute. And we've still got Kez and Riley battling for 2nd place, with Amaze going so slowly, trying to just bunch them up really to help out his teammate. Either way, that's going to allow us to close up, and you can see the gap is 8 tenths per second to Luke, and he's got 6 tenths per second to Riley. So yeah, this DRS train that stretches back to us in 5th now, actually picking up another warning there. I think I had a penalty by this point, which is absolutely shocking really. But second the fastest after the race, absolute scenes here. Nothing to do with Connor training up the top 4 or anything, but yeah, through turn 1 now, and DRS wide open, trying to keep with this top train. And unfortunately, I am about to disconnect again, which yeah was not fun. There we go, and there it is. It's a different disconnection, which yeah is something at least. I've not had the same problem as before, but yeah, once again the game has decided I don't deserve to do a sprint race, and by the time I got back in, my frame rate was in the bin, you might be able to tell, and so that means I pretty much couldn't drive very well, and yeah, down to 8th because my AI drove around for a lap, and yeah, unfortunately that is the race pretty much done. And yeah, almost binning it there. You can see the frame rate is so much harder to make, to collect mistakes like that. And Sim's going to have a very big chance. The man who spun out earlier in the race, and he's going to try and go down the inside into turn 4. Not really much point in firing it because I know he's faster than me, especially with this frame rate glitch that the Codemasters still haven't sorted out, and also the disconnection glitch, which yeah, this is the so out of the 6 races that I've done because I missed one. I've disconnected from 3 sprint races now, yeah, which is a bit of a joke really, but that's the way it goes. And it's just robbing me a chance. I think I had probably a chance of, well, definitely top 5, maybe top 4 in this sprint race, which is not a lot of points, but it's like 8 or 10 points that I've just missed out on through no fault of my own, which is really annoying because, yeah, any sort of hopes of championship are pretty much down the pan. Not a championship winning, obviously, but championship second place is going to be so hard to try and make those points back because we've got Kez and Luke just finishing on the podium. Myself in 8th place, picking up 1 singular point. And yeah, that's the way it goes, unfortunately, league racing sometimes. Obviously, it's not that important because I'm not going to win the championship anyway, but I would like to compete in the sprint race, but whatever. That's the way it goes. I had a good feature. I can't really complain. And yeah, that's 19 points over the weekend because I got 1 point for the sprint because Joe actually wasn't ahead of me. I did definitely beat him. But yeah, that's going to be the end of here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JY83, and I will see you next time.